I was chatting with a member of our community recently, and she was lamenting to me about how hard it was to pick her major in college and the pressure she felt to know what she wanted to do for a career, aka the rest of her life. And while we were talking about how ridiculous it is that we as a society think 18-year-olds or even 21-year-olds or honestly any age should be able to make those decisions, I thought maybe this conversation could be helpful to other people out there. Because no matter what our age, it's okay, not to mention extremely common, to not know what you are doing or what you want to do. It's okay to learn as you go, sometimes feel like an imposter and change your mind. That's part of living, learning, and slowly figuring out who we are. For some reason, much of society tells us that we need to pick a major, career path, partner, place to live, all by the time we're 30. I know, I feel overwhelmed just talking to you about it, and this pressure starts at a young age, probably around high school, so maybe even 15, 14 possibly or so, when we're asked if we're planning to go to college. If we aren't going to college, there can be judgment around that and questions about what our plans are then. I want to dig into some of the reasons why we don't have to have it all figured out, and I have come up with 4, but please, if you have others, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Now, reason number 1 is that we grow and change and learn new things. Imagine that. And that kind of rhymes also. Maybe I missed my calling as a poet. But as we go through life, we learn more about ourselves and the world around us. And as a result of that, our interests can change. For example, there was a period of time in my life when I thought I wanted to be a baker. I know, like a professional baker. But after seeing one of my friends work to open a restaurant and another one get hired as a pastry chef at a local bakery, I realized just how early I would have to get up, or if I worked in a restaurant as their pastry chef or whatever, then I would have to stay up really late and be working when my other friends and family were not. And weekends would be my busiest time, so getting to spend a lot of time with those I love would be really difficult. And I know that even that story can sound really silly and completely superficial, but after seeing others go through it, I realized that that line of work just wouldn't work for me. I can bake and play in the kitchen at home when I have free time. And in summary, we can start doing something or see others do it, and through our experience, realize that it doesn't fit the life that we have, and our career path can pivot along with us. And no one says just because we decided we loved sales, for example, let's say 5 years ago, that we still have to love it today. We are all free to change our minds, our careers, and our lives. Reason number 2. We can get caught in the people-pleasing trap. I know, I've been caught in it myself. But when we're young and still trying to figure out who we are, we can feel pressure from people around us to pick a certain career path. I remember the valedictorian of my high school class was always asked if she was going to medical school and going to become a doctor. I'm sorry, what? Since when did good grades mean that you're interested in medicine? I certainly haven't seen that correlation in any of my research, because it doesn't exist. And I think she went on to become a teacher, so there's that. But anyways, if she had given in to everybody else's input on her life, she could have gone on to do well in college, go to medical school, only to find out that she would much rather be a first-grade teacher. And this happens to a lot of us. We can feel pressure from our parents to follow in their footsteps or take advantage of the things we have that they didn't have when they were our age. We are not extensions of our parents and the life that they wish they had. We are individuals who are related to them, but we get to make our own decisions based on what makes us happy and allows us to live our life. And I know it's easier said than done, but one of the ways to move away from people pleasing and into doing something that's pleasing to us is to set up healthy boundaries. It's okay to let people know that we hear them. We understand their passion for, let's say, the medical field, but we are happy with what we're doing now. Or to say, I know you want me to decide now, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to take my time figuring out what's best for me. These small assertions of our independence can help us feel more free to do what's best for us. Moving on to reason number 3. Not every choice we make in our life is final and cuts us off from deciding differently tomorrow. Sometimes I feel like we have too many choices these days. We can think, maybe I'm going to turn my side hustle into my real job. Maybe I want to start my own Etsy shop. Or maybe I should start taking some classes online. While I love the variety and having a lot of options to sort through, all of these choices can sometimes be overwhelming, and we can feel frozen to pick just one. Especially if we think that choosing a career path for now means that we can't decide on a different one later, then every choice we make seems so much larger than it really needs to be. Sometimes it can help to be reminded that you can change your mind, pick a different career after a while, move to a new place, start over. Nothing has to be final unless we decide to make it so. And finally, reason number 4. Careers and productivity are not the only ways to build a happy, healthy life. I've talked about this before, but our urge to ask what's next when someone finishes something amazing is incredibly unhealthy. We are not robots. We can't constantly work, create, or focus, and our value shouldn't be predicated on our ability to be profitable. It's completely fine and acceptable to have a job just to have a job, or change jobs when we feel like it and just make enough money to pay our bills. We don't have to feel called to do something and be completely fulfilled by what we do. We can find joy and fulfillment in other parts of our life. Now, I do believe that we should enjoy our job, or at least the people that we work with, because we're going to spend so much of our life doing it. But that's really it. And I think it could also be that the pressure to find the perfect career that will not only pay our bills, but also be fulfilling and amazing and something that we're proud to tell people about is just too demanding and keeps us frozen in the decision-making process, like we're too scared to make the wrong one. Just remember that we can build a fulfilling and loving life outside of what we do for a living. We can choose to put our efforts and focus behind building a family, friendship group, or making space for our hobbies, and leave our career to just be what it'll be. Everyone is going to be different, and honestly, I think as a society, it would be healthy for us to just start celebrating these various paths, not continuing to perpetuate the belief that there's only one and we all should do that thing. Feeling the pressure to have it all figured out is something I still personally experience. So if you are feeling like you're all alone and thinking and feeling like this, just know that I'm right there with you. But remember, it's okay to learn more about yourself or the world and change your mind. We can make our own decisions. We can change them and do what we need to do to build our own life. And there's no deadline for any of it. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.